That was very friendly.
I'll tell you something, Mr. Cross. I think your new tenant is really lovely. And too much worry spoils your looks.
I suppose you know you're making yourself look foolish.
All right, I won't do the front. But remember, next spring, it was you told me not to do it.
I never, Harry Cross. It's just...
It's what?
Well, you've no right to spy on them like that.
Not them. I'm not bothered about the girls. It's him. And it's obvious he's chatting up the Grant girl.
Well, what if he... Well, you know... What if he's intimate with one of those nurses?
Don't be daft.
Well, what if he is? Will it be all his fault? Still be a nice girl, will she?
I've been watching them like a hawk. I've seen them all together. And there's no funny business going on. Not that sort, any road.
Well, the house is a darn sight safer with him in it, with a man around.
I've been deceived, Edna. I thought that the third party was a female.
Well, more fool you then.
Oh, that's loyalty, that is. After nearly 50 years of marriage.
47 and a half. I don't know why you're going on like this.
Because I had no chance to vet him. And I think he's a suspect character. That's why they kept him away from me.
It's the climate, Harold.
You what?
The economic climate. That's why he has to sell the fresh farm produce to eke out what he earns. Some might say what an enterprising young man.
Not enterprising, Edna. Fly. And I'll tell you another thing about him. He says he's a graduate. A graduate? The same as our Kevin.
Well, they've all signed the agreement. Even him. They've all paid 3 months in advance. And therefore you can't get him out.
Even though they misled me? Even then?
I'm sorry, Harry. Even then.
Well, there we are. What do you think? Your nagging paid off in the end?
Nagging?
Lobbying, then. From now on, the old car is all yours. And God bless all who sail in her.
You're in a good mood, aren't you?
He likes the car.
I like having the car.
Makes him feel like a captain of industry.
Hello. What on earth's he doing?
Clearing things out by the look of it.
Well, maybe I should have a word with Harry.
Why? Lowers the tone too much.
Well, I think it's an eyesore, Gordon.
Well, they're not doing any harm.
If he starts trading from that van, there'll be rubbish everywhere.
He won't start trading from here, Dad.
Well, how do you know? I don't. I doubt if Cross does either. He slipped up, that man, if you ask me.
I expect he got references and things. Anyway, they're not noisy.
Well, I'll go over and make our position clear.
Paul, don't go being difficult.
Well, we're immediate neighbours, Anna. It's our concern.
Well, I'm not concerned. Gordon, is this your mess, all these crisps?
Yeah, sorry.
I'll see you get them cleared up before your father comes back.
Okay. Excuse me. I couldn't borrow that dustpan and brush for a minute, could I?
Yeah,
Save me going in and messing about.
There you go.
Great.
Hey, new car?
Yeah, Dad's just picked it up.
Oh, very nice. Was that him?
Yeah, that's right. He can be a bit of a stickler for order and so on, so if he makes a fuss about your van, don't be too surprised. He's all right underneath, though. Don't take him too seriously.
Good sort, eh?
Well, it's just his manner.
Yeah, you're going to use that brush?
Yeah.
Yeah, manner can say quite a lot. Be a fair measure of the man. Oh, very smart. One of the perks of his job, I suppose.
Yeah, well, so is that of his, Bobby Grant. He works for a union.
Oh, I agree. A plague on both your houses.
Well, yes, this seems in order as far as I can see. Standard sort of tenancy agreement.
The point is, there's nothing there that says the boy can't own an ambulance and park it outside the house. Now, if he parked it outside your house, you might have a grievance.
You've got the grievance, Harold. You're feeling very aggrieved.
I'm the landlord, not Paul. It's different if I've got a complaint. A landlord's entitled to have a complaint.
So's a next-door neighbour. This is a very pleasant little close, aesthetically speaking. I'm worried where it's going to go. Cross between a scrap merchant's yard and a costermonger's alley.
It's early days.
Exactly. So it's up to you to nip it in the bud. Ask him to park his ambulance and his sacks of potatoes somewhere else.
I think he bags them before they dry. Mine have gone bad already.
I'm sorry, you've got no case. The lad has not infringed that agreement.
This agreement is neither here nor there.
You sure it's just the boy that's the trouble?
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, is it the boy or is it really something else? The hidden face of prejudice. That's what I think's lurking here.
One of the girls is black, you mean? How absurd. What an idea. My daughter Lucy had a coloured boyfriend. Welcome to our home.
Oh, yes.
No threat there to me. It's fear that starts that sort of thing. Plus ignorance and a low intelligence. What you forget is I served in India, you know.
I think Kate's family came from the West Indies originally.
I assure you I am not prejudiced.
Except against an old ambulance and some potatoes.
Listen, this is getting rather silly. You're the landlord. Kindly deal with your tenant.
Hypocrite.
I don't know where I am with you, Harold Cross.
It's simple. I still don't like that sharp young man. But in that mood, I like Paul Collins even less.
Lindisfarne Castle. Is she going to study there, is she?
Well, she can't work all the time, can she? It just makes it seem very attractive as a place to go, I mean.
Yeah, but it all depends what she's going to study. What subject?
Subjects. And I'm not sure yet.
Well, shouldn't you know?
Well, Newcastle's dead good about that. They're good on combined studies and letting you decide when you're there.
Yeah, but you must have some idea.
I have. That's why I'm likely to apply to Bradford.
Bradford? I know which of the two I'd choose for scenery.
Sheila.
Well, Maureen Lomax comes from Newcastle. She raves about the Northumberland coast.
I know she does, but Carol's not going to study deep-sea fishing, is she?
Well, what is she going in for? I don't know. I've no more idea than you have.
Because you don't listen, do you? You're meant to be advising me, you two.
Go on, then. What's so good about Bradford?
Well, you can do social psychology, see? I really fancy social because with general you got to do about animals. And physiology.
Kidology.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look at this. A BA with honours. Politics and social psychology. I wouldn't mind that for myself. Bobby Grant at Ruskin.
Bobby Grant at Brookside, please, with this.
Anyway, it all depends how far you're prepared to go outside of Liverpool, love.
Oh, no, Damon, not that one.
You wouldn't think of moving south, would you, love?
I don't think so, no. I wouldn't miss you for a minute. But if I did, cost me the earth to get back up, wouldn't it?
There's always evil Knievel.
Oh, come on, love. We're talking about a year off yet. Studying with all those nice young men.
Yeah, and we know why they're nice, don't we? Because they're going to be getting degrees, not working in a DIY in Bootle.
Love, you don't want to start thinking of tying yourself down.
You mean like you did?
Well, that's different. Presumably with this lot, she's thinking in terms of a career.
Yeah. That's why, if I choose psychology, I want to do applied. Because I want a job to come out of it. But I don't see myself ditching Andrew in the process. I don't see why I have to.
Love, you might outgrow him.
Oh, come on, that's really horrible.
Look, is there any chance of any tea here today?
Oh, I'm sorry, love. In a minute. I'm not organised yet.
You've got time for this?
This is Karen's future, Damon.
Anyway, I don't envy you sorting that lad out. 5 applications, all in certain order.
You're talking about a love life finishing with Andrew?
Karen, you wouldn't throw all this up for him, would you? You wouldn't let that restrict you.
See if he doesn't ditch you first.
Damon, just because you've got a cob on with Linda.
You what? I mean, I just want some tea, that's all. I'm starving here. She's got months to do that.
I haven't got months.
What did your last slave die of?
Well, I don't know what we're having. I mean, it's your job, isn't it? It's your job to look after us.
Can't you help yourself for a change? Your mother's been up half the night. And let's be fair, you're not exactly overworked, are you?
Oh, no, you're dead right there, Dad. Not much chance of working either, is there?
It's all right, love. I'll do the tea.
No. You just carry on talking about Karen. So what are you saying then, Dad? So you're only on certain nights a week?
Just bear in mind that O-level years are very demanding time.
Your father means late nights, that sort of thing. They've been very good, Paul.
Yes, I know. Now, who's for a quick run out in the new car? Find a pub with a garden.
Well, I was thinking of calling for Kathy.
Oh, we could pick her up on the way, if that's acceptable.
Okay, yeah,
I'll go. You two can clear the table.
Only thing is, Dad, I think she's going to develop the photographs we took last week tonight.
Phone her when your mum comes back and see.
Well, don't expect her to go weak at the knees at the sight of the car.
That's not the point of the exercise. Well, not the only one.
I'd like you to get to know her, Dad. Of course, I've only just got to know her myself.
Sorry, Gordon. Your father will be the only one driving out.
What?
Back to the office, I'm afraid. Well, they want you to sort something out, something about a pump.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I got that sorted out before I left.
Well, apparently it's gone wrong again. I did ask them if they wanted to talk to you, but they said no. Would you please come?
Annabelle, who is they? They could be anybody.
They is the person on the other end of the phone. They didn't give their name, but they sound almost as cross as you do now.
I'm just a nursemaid, you know, that's all. Well, sorry about tonight. Some other time.
She's probably busy with the photographs anyway. Doesn't matter.
Back as soon as I can.
Shall I wash up, Mum?
Still phone her, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I will do.
Hiya.
Oh, hello. Settling in? You, won't spread yourself too far, will you?
I respect the invisible divide.
Yes, well, it isn't simply me. I think Mr. Cross is a little concerned about the amount of, produce you seem to have. Rather think he'd like a word about it.
Who, the Duke?
Sorry?
The Duke of Westminster, our landlord.
Oh, yes, yeah.
What is it, the engine?
Spark plug, I think. Again. Keeps gunsing up.
Shall we have a look at it?
I'll do it later, thanks.
Taking it back apart before, you know.
Prefer to do it myself.
Oh, I don't know. I idle around all day, and then when I have to do something, no one wants to know.
Hey, I've got to get home on this tonight. I don't want to take your Karen off for the weekend.
Oh, and I'd ruin it. Thanks for your vote of confidence.
Damon. All right, have a go. But if you're not sure, ask, OK?
Ta. Hey, I can't stand it in there. Rabbit. Our Karen's A-levels.
Yeah, but she's got quite a bit on at the moment. She reckons she's going to be working at the weekend when I want us to get off. Still, I reckon I can win around.
Why? I mean, if a bloke tells you to get lost, you believe him. So why is it so different with girls?
Yeah, I suppose, but...
I mean, there might be girls you can get round, but not ones like our Karen, not if she's decided.
Oh, Linda, eh?
I was talking about our Karen. I never mentioned Linda.
No.
They're no use to me. I've had to cut half of them away.
Oh, you always get a few, love.
It's not a few. Come on and look.
Edna, I'm trying to have a conversation.
Well, go on, don't mind me.
I do mind you. You've got me all muddled. What did Paul Collins say?
Well, just said you wanted to see me, to beef about the fruit and veg I'm selling.
Well, it's him that's got the bellyache about it. He should own up, not push it on to me.
Oh, I see. So you're quite happy then?
I didn't say that, did I? When Samson and Kate came for that first interview, you weren't with them, were you?
2 girls and a fella? Oh, I thought you might get the wrong end of the stick. Think I was, well, you know, stepping out with one of them or something.
Are you?
I thought you'd got cooking to do.
I'm not actually, but it's okay. I'm all for neighbours taking an interest in each other. Too easy to get wrapped up in yourself.
That's what you say, isn't it, Harold? Community spirit.
Edna!
Well, anything else you'd like to know? Well, you know, that you would have asked originally if I'd been with Kate or Sandra.
But this is a matter of fact. What's this about you being a graduate?
I just am. I ended up at Nottingham doing food science. I started off with chemistry, only it choked me off. I failed the exams.
Our son's got a degree. English literature. He teaches. A nice little job that really benefits the community.
There'll be a cup of tea when you come through.
Oh, Tar, haven't forgotten, Mrs. C.
All right. Now, about this food technology. What's that got to do with the job you're doing now? A porter in hospital.
Oh, I used to be in a band.
Oh, aye. What were you, the chief trumpeter?
No, a rock band. I started off in university, did the college circuit, then ended up on a lousy tour of Scandinavia. The promoter took off without paying us, and we had to sell all our gear and a bit more to get home.
Get away.
Yeah. So, I ended up back home penniless. No guitar, no job, and no prospects. My degree was about as useful as a broken G-string. Still, I couldn't have stuck a 9-to-5 life.
There's a few million that'd give their legs for a chance to try it.
Oh, I've never been idle. No. I went for a job as a nutritional consultant with a DHSS. Yeah, I didn't get it. So, I ended up as an hospital porter.
And have I paid all those taxes to educate someone like you?
Come on, let's go and get that tea.
What about the fruit and veg?
Oh, makes a few bob on the side. And it's the best nutritional diet you could get. Oh, it gives me a kick too. Get me home backing away on those daft sods that turn me down.
Perhaps. But I tell you what's not on turning this close into a tip. The cost between a scrap metal yard and a costermonger's alley.
Well then, ring the council and wangle us a bin and then you won't see any rubbish.
This city don't give bins.
Oh, I'm sure you can handle bureaucrats, Mr. Cross. You wouldn't let them fob you off. Persistent, aren't you?
One way of putting it.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. My fault. I dried these off without due care, didn't I? I'll get you another lot free of charge. To, community spirit, eh?
Marvellous. I finally get a hot meal on the table. There's only one person sitting down and she's got her face in a book.
Prospectus.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Sorry, Jay. Him planning our Karen's life. Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you're going to spend 3 years at a place, Karen, you better make sure it's a place you're going to like.
I reckon it makes good sense, you know. Why don't you go and have a look around somewhere?
Well?
Well, this weekend?
Oh, Andrew, I've got loads of work on for school.
Change might do you good, love. I mean, you know, might work better for it, especially if you went somewhere nice.
Wait for it.
Well, at least you could see a university and get a breath of good sea air at the same time.
What's she on about?
Her mate Maureen Lomax. She's always raving on about the Northumberland coast.
Hey, I'll batter you.
Well, we could go to Newcastle, Karen. I mean, it is high up on your list and, well, it could be a great run.
Well, that old bike of yours make it, lad?
That's the mechanic.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Damon, be a devil. Go the whole hog. Get the T-shirt changed.
Oh.
You're going to get it everywhere. Oh, and Damon, I've moved the chest of drawers back into the baby's room.
You what?
She said she's moved the chest of drawers.
What for?
Barry said it was a squash in there with all your stuff.
Damon, just go and change the T-shirts, eh? Don't let's have an inquest. Just change the T-shirts.
Oh, this is great, this is.
Damon, it won't hurt you to cross to London.
Well, I know it won't. But why should I even have to? Oh, Barry complains, so we moved the drawers. The tea's late because of Karen. The baby's not even born and it's got me room. And I have to share with our Barry.
Damon, get upstairs, lad. Get out your dirt and then come back and have your tea, eh? Now, I mean it. And don't say anything you might regret.
Love, I'm sorry. I should have asked you about the chest of drawers.
Oh, leave it, will you? She's always the first to scream for this tea and always the last to sit down.
Yeah, well, that fits, doesn't it? Because it strikes me I come last in everything round here. You lot couldn't care less about me.
Look, leave it, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but I might have...
Leave it, will you? Don't let him put you off having your tea just because he's acting like a big soft lad.
Well, he is upset.
Upset? I'm upset seeing this food going cold. Come on, eat up. Come on, lad, and you.
I'll go.
Thank you. Don't know who goes through these biscuits, but it certainly isn't me.
Is your father in?
It's Mr. Cross, Mum. See Dad.
I'm afraid he's had to go to the office. I don't know when he'll be back.
Well, I've come to give you a message. Your husband came in to see me earlier on. I said I'd deal with it, and he had no right to interfere again.
Oh, there's no need to be so aggressive.
Look, Mr. Cross, the point is it dealt with or isn't it? That's what Dad'll want to know.
It's dealt with, all right. The ambulance is staying, the farm produce is staying, they're all staying, all of them.
No matter what.
No matter what. So you tell him that.
Hey, come on, love. A well-nourished mum means a well-nourished baby.
I'm sorry, love. I can't really enjoy it. I'm going up to him.
OK. If you're fretting that much.
He's pretty touchy with me before.
I know. Lovesick. That's his problem.
You haven't said yet. Yes or no?
But it's this particular weekend. I've got a project to get in.
Look, bring it with you. I'll read it through for you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Karen. Please. Could be really great.
Oh, all right.
Brass me first in future.
If you don't eat, you won't sleep, then you'll start churning things over. You're going to feel worse in the morning. I've known your dad do that before now. And don't I know it when your dad can't sleep? Funny thing is, there's me creeping around at night, desperate not to disturb him.
Why can't you sleep?
Oh, you know, heartburn, backache, wanting to go to the toilet, thinking thoughts. It's a funny thing, you know, love, being pregnant. You're so intent on what's going on inside you or thinking about the future. You don't always notice what's under your very nose. Don't always tune in.
Yeah, well, you tune into Karen, all right.
Damon, it's a big thing for us. For me and your dad. One of you with a chance like that, going to university, it's a big thing, love.
Yeah.
Damon, you wasted school. You were bright and you wasted it.
Only because I hated it so much.
Karen's not exactly keen on everything she has to do, but she still works her socks off, love.
Yeah, well, it might surprise you, Mum, but I worked really hard in London. I was knackered every night, but it was great. And they were pleased, they said. Anytime I want to go down there and work with them. Like an apprenticeship. Live with Dawn or Yvonne's dad, so as you won't worry. Do you know what the unemployment is in Liverpool? 1 in 10. Even I, for my age, more like 1 in 5. I'm busting up with Linda. Well...
You wouldn't go to London, would you, love?
Why not? I mean, look, it's not even my room anymore. What is there to keep me here?
Brookside's back on Monday morning at 11:55.